Guy with the most women, the most money, and the best lifestyle got those things because he played for them. He played for fame or political power or business success. Okay? A guy like Johnny Depp does not have the look of a typical alpha male, but throughout his career, he's amassed something like $400 million. Dollars. He's had hotter women than all of us will combined. And it's because he leveraged his skill, used his brain, took all the risks of, trying to succeed in Hollywood and made it happen. He got that massive success because he played for it, not because he's the most alpha gangster motherfucker in the world. Okay? A true player is a chameleon in the game of life. He can understand game and adapt himself to whatever situation's in front of him, whether that's amplifying his alpha characteristics when he meets a cute girl, or downplaying them when he's talking to an important client and deferring to that client. Okay, whatever the smart move is, the player knows what to do and how to do it. So these concepts like alpha versus beta, lover versus provider, pickup artist versus average frustrated chump, red pill blue versus blue pill. These concepts at the end of the day end up really holding you back from what life really is, which is a game to be played. Okay? When you're first learning about the game of life, those concepts are useful to you. They were to me, when I was upgrading my knowledge base. But to take your game to the next level, you need to play past them. In fact, you need to play past almost all concepts, all isms, conservatism, liberalism, tribalism, movements, all that stuff. You need to play past that stuff and be adaptable. Like Bruce Lee said, be like water. Move yourself to whatever the right move is. Adapt yourself to whatever the right situation is, and not be boxed into these rigid concepts. And when your primary priority is being a player in the game of life, that allows you to use moves that a guy who's trying to be an alpha male doesn't have. Okay, it allows you to use those soft skills that are incredibly effective in a knowledge-based economy. And it's really important to understand that being a player in the game of life isn't about acting alpha. Okay, don't get me wrong. It's important to understand how to project strength and confidence and authority and certainty. It's very important. But more important is knowing what to project in any given situation and when to project those types of attributes and when not to project them. Okay? Knowing how to restrain your alpha instincts is just as important as knowing when to indulge them. Because acting alpha can hurt you as much as it can help you. That's the truth. When you're the new kid on the sales floor and you walk in like you fucking own the place, you're gonna get slapped down by your boss. And when I worked in sales, I saw that happen a million times. Kid coming straight out of college, walking in like his shit doesn't stink, and within a week or two, he's getting checked left, right, and center. When you mouth off to a cop, that is an alpha thing to do, but that is not fucking smart. That's gonna end you up in jail for the night. When you amog the wrong guy at a bar, you're gonna get your teeth kicked in. As the great Dave Chappelle said, when keeping it real goes wrong, it is a very bad situation. And keeping it real 90% of the time goes fucking wrong, okay? That's how it goes. Because keeping it real usually involves some type of force to protect your position, and now your position got way worse than it was before. So what I'm trying to express to you is modeling primitive, hardcore alpha males is not the right move for success in our knowledge-based economy. Okay, pickup community, they talk a lot about modeling alphas, guys who are naturally good with women. And when it comes to cold approach pickup on the street where there's no social consequences, no police, no nothing, modeling some alpha traits can be a really good move. Confidence, dominance, turning all that shit up to 10. I do the same thing when I'm first meeting a girl. because there is no consequence to it. But there are a lot of situations where there are massive consequences to even the slightest um, alpha male projections of dominance. Be it talking to your boss or the immigration officer or a police officer. That's the type of shit that's going to get you into real trouble in the real world. Okay? And the vast majority of primitive alphas, all right, I'm talking about real genetic primitive alphas, guys who you can see it in their face. Not guys who learned how to be alpha on the internet, but real genetic alpha males don't have lifestyles worth living. Okay, you probably know at least one primitive, hardcore, natural-born alpha male with a history of drug addiction, alcoholism, violence, domestic abuse, being in and out of jail, money mismanagement, not being able to hold down a job for more than a few months, or all of the above. Okay, I've known guys like that. Even the primitive alpha male who gets it together and upgrades his lifestyle many times has a hard time holding on. Just look at War Machine. Okay, great looking guy, insane MMA talent, and he even actually was a red pill guy. He had a deep knowledge of, red pill. He used to sell T-shirts called, with slogans on them, saying "doing alpha male shit." This guy understood the men's self-improvement very well. Yet he couldn't hold it together and ended up beating the shit out of his porn star girlfriend when he caught her with another guy. I mean, the chick is a fucking porn star, for fuck's sakes. But his instincts kicked in, beat the shit out of her, beat the shit out of the guy, and now he's in jail for a very long time. His promising MMA career is finished. All the stuff he had going for him is gone because he couldn't hold it in check. Okay? The truth is, outside of a bit of their game and a bit of their confidence and a bit of their attitude, there are very few hardcore primitive alphas with lifestyles worth emulating. There are very few Arnold Schwarzeneggers, guys with both the brawn and the brain, and guys who are able to do very well in the modern world. Those guys are a very rare exception to the rule. And what I want to express is having the presence, the confidence, and the ability to assert yourself are very important, but just as important are the soft skills and the ability to restrain yourself from making bad decisions. I am here speaking to you right now because of the restraint I've exercised over myself in the past 15 years. No doubt about that. No doubt that if I had indulged every alpha instinct I have, I would be in jail. Guaranteed. A true player in the game doesn't box himself into a role. Okay, that's how I think of myself. A player in the game, and I think about playing the right card at the right time. And the game is not about acting alpha. The game is not about being red pill. The game is not about adopting dark triad traits so that women like you more. The game is about playing for position. Okay? Playing for position. And it's so important that you understand the difference. The difference between alpha and position is exceptional in modern day society. In the past, they were the same thing. Alpha genetics and position were one and the same. The biggest, strongest, most dominant alpha male became the tribal leader. You look at any of the primitive tribes today, you look at gorillas, apes, our ancestors, same thing. Biggest, strongest guy, 9.9 times out of 10 is the leader. But in our modern world, since the advent of agriculture and civilization, not like that at all anymore. And the greater we advance in technology, the less that's going to apply to real world success. Okay? Alpha and position are two completely different things. Now, sometimes a guy with position is a natural alpha, but rarely. Usually he just has some alpha characteristics, but he got there by using his brain and using his social skills. Okay? You'll see this firsthand when you first start out in the workforce, or if you're already in the workforce. No matter how alpha you are, The position you're playing is bitch because you're the new guy, you're just starting out, and you are the bitch. If you want to succeed in investment banking and make $500,000 a year, your first year you're going to be working 18 hours a day, filing papers, getting coffee, being an absolute bitch. And some of these kids, like this kid last year, died from working 3 days straight as an investment banking intern making no money. Okay? If you don't like it, it doesn't matter because they'll just fire another kid, or they'll just find another kid, fire you, get some kid to do it, and get him to be happy about it. Okay? Because that's how it works in the real world. If you want to play the corporate game, forget about being a fucking alpha. You got to get used to taking orders because you're going to have to put in at least a decade in your investment banking firm before the senior partners start viewing you with anything resembling respect. Okay? You can be the world's biggest fucking super stud on the weekend, but that doesn't mean shit on Monday morning when you have to defer to a smaller, weaker, dumber man in his late 50s. Doesn't matter how much of a bar star you are. When you don't have position, you don't have shit. Okay? When you don't have position, you don't have jack shit. That's why jobs aren't shit. A job exists to subjugate you. A job exists to tell you what to do. The corporate hierarchy is structured in a rigid way to promote deference, not independence. And you don't get promoted by how alpha you are or by asserting yourself to your boss. In fact, you probably get fired for doing that. You get promoted by how well you take orders. You get promoted by how high you jump when your boss says jump. And it might take you 25 years of taking orders to get into a decent position in your company. 25 fucking years. You could start at 20 and it's not till 50 by the time you have a decent position. You know, by the time you're an executive vice president or, some level of higher management. 30 years of your fucking life before you have decent position. And even then, you've still got motherfuckers telling you what to do. Okay? This is not alpha. Alpha is no one telling you what to do.